Mornye, the Shorekeeper of Tune Rupture and Tune Strain teams, is finally back and you would not want to miss her out. Hello everyone, this is 12th Harbinger and this video is an updated build guide for her covering everything you need to know, including her kit, best weapons, echoes, teams, rotations, sequences and more. Without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Mornye can fill her forte bar using most of her attacks, but the 3 basic attack combo is enough to completely fill it up. After the forte is filled, you can do a charge attack to enter the levitating state. Casting her intro lets her directly enter this state. In this state, she creates a Syntony field for 25 seconds. It heals the team which scales on her defense and also gives them increased resistance to interruption. It also increases the off-tune build-up rate of characters by 50%, which is amazing for tune break DPS like Aemeath or Luuk. Her forte also changes and is filled by most of her attacks. In combat, a 3 basic attack combo and resonance skill is enough to fill it up. When it is filled, you can cast a heavy attack which puts a marker on enemies that are hit. This marker has one of the most important buffs of Mornye. Triggering Tune Strain or Tune Rupture on these enemies will give the team a massive damage increase of up to 40% for 8 seconds. This damage increase is based on her energy regen, for which you need a total of 260% energy regen. This is a very important buff for characters that can apply Tune Strain or Tune Rupture like Lynae, Aemeath, Luuk or Lynae. Her Resonance Liberation deals some damage. It gets crit rate and crit damage buffs based on Mornye's energy regen. But the damage is not that high. It enhances the effects of Syntony field by increasing its healing and gives a 20% defense increase to all resonators. Her next major buff is from her outro, giving a team-wide 25% all damage amplification for 25 seconds. Her first inherent skill increases her energy regen by 10%, which is great for her buff and gives additional concerto from her intro skill and basic attack stage 3 which helps with her rotation. And the second inherent skill is a quality of life passive that gives damage reduction and a death protection passive to the active resonator. Usually I cover sequences at the end, but for Mornye I will discuss them quickly right now cause she has great sequences. Starting with the first sequence, which I believe is the highest value sequence if you play her outside of Tune Rupture or Tune Strain teams. Basically what this sequence does is that it removes the need of Tune Rupture or Tune Strain for triggering her 40% damage increase, making it a very strong sequence outside of teams which cannot trigger it. But usually, Mornye is mostly paired with Lynae who can apply these effects. So if you are using her outside of Tune Break teams, it is her best sequence. But not a must pull, it is perfectly fine to skip it. It also gives interruption immune to her mid-air basic attacks, which is very useful. Her other sequences are not quite worth it. Her S2 is pretty decent, giving extra team-wide crit damage buff and off-tune build-up rate, but not a must pull. The other sequences are pretty low value. S3 speeds up her rotation, which is nice but not worth her astrites. S4 and S5 as usual are worthless. The S6 makes her ultimate hit really hard but not worth it cause it is better to invest these resources in your DPS characters. For her talent priority, you don't really need to invest much in her talents. You can level up her forte skill to increase her healing, and if you want tiny bit more damage, you can increase her ultimate. The other skills don't really matter. Moving on to her echoes. There are mainly 2 echo sets that you must use on her. The first one is the Halo of Starry Radiance. This is her best echo set, giving a permanent 25% attack buff to the team, and its main echo skill Reactor Husk gives 10% energy regen to Mornye. The second option is the old healer set Rejuvenating Glow, giving a 15% attack buff for 30 seconds from the set bonus, and an additional 10% attack buff from the Fallacy of No Return echo skill which lasts for 20 seconds, so the attack buff is basically the same. It also gives 10% energy regen to Mornye, so all the buffs from both the sets are the same. However, the Halo of Starry Radiance is better by a very small margin due to its higher buff uptime and a tiny bit more energy generation and damage from the echo skill. If you don't have access to the new set or don't want to farm it, then it is perfectly fine to use a Rejuvenating Glow. For her energy regen, she gets 10% from her kit and 10% from the echo skill. So from her weapon and echo stats, she needs a total of 240%. For her echo stats, you can go for either defense percent or healing bonus on the 4 cost, Defense gives a balance of healing and some damage from her ult. For 3 cost, energy regen on both pieces as it is necessary to reach the 240% energy regen mark. If you have signature weapon which makes it possible to reach the required energy regen with only one energy regen 3 cost echo, you can use fusion damage on the other one. For 1 cost echoes, go for defense percent. From her substats, you should only care about 240% energy regen. Then you can look for some liberation damage, crit damage, defense percent and crit rate if you are lucky with your rolls. But to be honest, these stats doesn't really matter. Moving on to our weapon options. Mornye, just like any sustenance support, prefers weapons that gives concerto energy but also energy regen for her buffs. Her signature weapon does it all by giving the highest amount of energy regen, which is 77%, gives her concerto on casting her liberation, and gives a 20% crit damage buff to the entire team. But this weapon is very skippable as a small crit damage buff is not worth the astrites. And we have a perfect 4-star weapon for her, which is Discord, that gives energy regen and gives a concerto energy on casting resonance skill. And if you don't have any of these weapons, you can use the Broadblade 41 for the energy regen. Sadly, it doesn't provide concerto, so it extends the rotation. Moving on to our team comps. Just like most sustenance supports, Mornye can fit into every team. But her best teams are with characters that can apply Tune Rupture or Tune Break, notably Lynae, DPS characters like Aemeath Luuk and Lynae, who is the upcoming character as she can apply Tune Strain as well. She is also one of the best 3rd slot members for Mono Fusion team with Lupa, as there are no fusion sustenance supports. So Mornye being 1 is really great for these teams, even better if you happen to get her S1. Outside of these teams, she is like Varina and can fit into every team, giving a similar performance to her. Moving on to her rotations. Mornye has very simple rotations, but you can include some advanced tech in it. First, we start with her basic attack 1, 2 and 3 into a heavy attack. You can replace this with her intro when you get access to it. Then use her mid-air basic attack 1, 2 and right when the 3rd basic attack comes out, use her resonance skill. This allows you to cancel the animation of the 3rd basic attack and save some time. Now her forte is filled. Use her heavy attack and right when the hit registers, cancel the rest of the animation with her ultimate, then use her echo skill and outro. If your echo skill is fallacy of no return, use it right before her ultimate. This was the general rotation, but you can make it even shorter if you have the R4 of her signature or the Discord weapon. The rotation is basically the same, but after a 3rd mid-air attack and resonance skill, we skip the heavy attack and directly use her ultimate, then echo and outro. This rotation will not work for the opener rotation, but other than that, it works pretty well. Do note that this rotation is not recommended for teams that can apply Tune Strain or Tune Rupture, or for S1 Mornye. This only works for S0 Mornye in non-Tune Break teams, as the buff from her heavy attack is practically useless for these teams. Also, Mornye is not compatible with swap cancels, as switching her out ends her levitating state. You can only swap cancel her ground basic attack 3 during her opener rotation. So overall, Mornye is one of the few sustenance supports who can function perfectly with low investments. She is the Shorekeeper of Tune Break teams and is also one of the best support for Lupa Monofusion teams. Aside from strong buffs, she has multiple strong utilities like defense boost, interruption resistance, and death protection passive, making her a very strong meta buffer. What do you guys think about Mornye? Let me know in the comments. And that's all for this video. Don't forget to like and share the video and subscribe for more Wuthering Waves content. Join my Discord server to hang out with other WoWa players. And thanks for watching.